5 games with a 10-win streak. You will learn for each game. The best strategy is having... Hello everyone, we're here with Pepito, one of our best players in Paragons Alliance. He's been a rank 1 during last season, throughout all of the season, and has been playing with us for a while. Here, introducing to you Pepito. Tell us a bit about yourself, Pepito. How did you start playing TCGs?
It started in 2017. I am playing Witcher and I discovered Gwent.
Okay.
And it's my first TCG, but I'm just playing casually and I'm not competitive. Actually, Parallel is my first competitive TCG.
Wow, that's absolutely insane that Parallel is actually your first competitive TCG, because, I mean, you're playing in Parallel against professional TCG players from Magic, from Hearthstone, like very famous players you have been playing around. From Hearthstone especially, like the best Hearthstone players are in the ladder playing against you. Yu-Gi-Oh players also. So how has that felt? Like you know which players I'm talking about, and you have played against them in Parallel. How does that feel? Like being able to beat them?
They are clearly on a different level, but I think it's been a year since I am playing Parallel, and when you're familiar, it's just natural that you know how to play and you get better in the game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely playing the game for a while, like knowing the ins and outs of the game definitely helps a lot. So talking about that, when did you start borrowing assets with us, with Paragons Alliance?
July 2024.
July 2024.
It's been 8 months.
8 months. 8 months borrowing assets with us. You have been through the ups and downs of the lending system. Like, I think you started borrowing with us even before the bond system went live, right?
Yeah, I am in the gear program.
Yeah.
And so far, I've earned total of 500 prime.
500 prime. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. This is aside from what the rake that you have to give to us, right? Is what you personally have earned.
It's not rake, so that's the total. So
Okay.
250 prime.
250 prime. Yeah. So tell us a bit about how did you start Web3 gaming? How has been your experience there?
I started Web3 like with most of us with Axie Infinity back in 2021.
Yeah.
I'm part of YGG under Axie University, AXU, and I became a scholar there, and they provide us access.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, I mean, Parallel is your first TCG, but you come from a similar background, which is Axie. That's kind of a TCG in the sense that it's like turn-based. It actually has some cards, but has the extra stuff that is the Axie, right? So, I mean, I guess like that's also been serving as some of your experience to a game like Parallel, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely that's a nice experience with Web3. You understand how it is like when you earn, how it means to borrow and all of that. So tell us a bit here, like how much time do you spend daily grinding the Parallel ladder each day?
At first, I'm only playing to get like 5 wins. But now, you want to earn more prime, I'm grinding 3 to 4 hours a day.
3 to 4 hours a day. That's really nice. I mean, that's what it takes you to complete like the wins, or that's because you want to have a win streak, for example.
Yeah, you wanna have a win streak.
Yeah.
My target is at least 3 prime a day.
3 prime per day. That's really nice. That will make, if you play every day, that's around 90 prime per day. If you get lucky on some days with the keys and all of that, it could be a bit more. So yeah, 3 prime per day sounds really nice, really nice. So do you play every day?
Every day.
Every day.
I don't miss a single day.
You don't miss a single day. Okay, okay. And that's been for the 8 months?
For the last 3 seasons.
For the last 3 seasons.
Every day. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's interesting to see. That's interesting to see. So recently there was like a ghost patch, so to say, where they increased the base earnings based on the win streak you have. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
So every win streak you have now also increases your base earning by 0.03 in master rank. With
In master.
maximum of 0.3 increase.
So if you nice. So if you win, for example, your 5 games of the day on a 10 win streak, that will make it a base earning of 0.3 for each game
In master rank,
in master rank.
your maximum base earnings is 0.8. I mean 0.08.
So there's a cap
0.8. Yeah, there's a cap.
for the base earnings.
Yeah.
So how do you achieve 0.3 for a base earning with a 10 win streak?
In order to get more win streaks, I actually track strong players' schedules and I avoid them, and I play in certain schedule where there are less players, and I get match with lower rankings, not against master.
Yeah, okay. That's I understand that part. Let's go down that path a bit later. I just want to understand, how do you, like, if you have a 10 win streak, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that there's, for each, like, let's say you're on a 10 win streak, you're earning 0.3 prime as base earning. Is that correct?
The base earnings is 0.08.
Okay. And so the 0.3 would be a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Oh, okay. It's a bonus for win streak that they implemented.
Yeah.
So it caps a 10 win streak and the cap is 0.3.
I think it's 0.03 per win, so maximum 0.3. Yeah.
Maximum 0.3. Okay, awesome. So it's a bonus. It's not the base earning. Okay. And how do you increase your base earning at master? Or 0.08 is the base earning at master right now?
Yeah, it's the base earning.
Okay, it's the base. So, for example, you are a master, you are on a 10 win streak, and you win 5 games with a 10 win streak. You will earn for each game 0.38, right? Without anything, without any other keys, avatars, any of that. Is that correct?
No, I think 0.08 is the highest base earning you can achieve for 10 win streak.
Okay. So there's no bonus for win streak.
The bonus is, if you don't have a win streak, it's 0.05 base earnings only.
Okay, I understand. I understand now. Okay, so yeah, talk us a bit about your strategy. What you mentioned about avoiding the best players in the ladder.
Uh, Whenever I face them in certain times, I track of their schedule, and players like Lambi, like Sequinox, if you want to win more and uh, you have to track their schedule. What do you call this?
Like calendar?
Yeah, like a calendar.
So you use, yeah.
Avoid playing at certain times to get more win streaks.
Yeah, more win streaks.
To avoid playing against them.
Awesome. Awesome. So you basically write down the times and the whole schedule of the best players, so you avoid playing at the same time that they are playing, so you can maximize your earnings. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So that's a really nice strategy. I mean, I've seen certain times in the ladder in my own experience where I'm playing and I get overwhelmed by the amount of good players that are playing at the same time as I, and I can't win as much, and it takes me more time to complete my wins of the day and all of that. So yeah, this is definitely a good strategy if you're focused on earning prime and trying to get some win streaks to earn even more. For example, if you're using an overclock key, if you're using prismatic, solars, and all of that. Definitely a nice strategy, Pepito here. I mean, it's a don't blame the player, blame the game. So that's a really good strategy. So I wanted to ask you, what's your average prime per day? You mentioned you try to get to 3 prime per day, but what do you say is your average?
Yeah, I'm averaging 3 prime per day for the last season. Yeah,
3 prime per day average. So yeah, that's on a win streak. And does that, to get to 3 prime per day, do you only use and focus on win streak, or you also focus on completing stuff like your solar and prismatic key? How do you do that approach to get to that maximum amount of prime that you can earn?
so my strategy is, if my win streak breaks, I play my solar.
Okay.
Then before the day ends, I wanna get a win streak for tomorrow, so I can start with the win streak.
Yeah. Okay. So what you do is basically that if you're in a win streak, you play the best deck, which in this case right now is CPUs. Am I correct? So you stay with CPUs.
Whatever is the meta. Yeah.
Whatever is the meta. Well, yeah, in this case, yeah, whatever is the meta, the best deck of the meta, the one that has the highest win rate, you would play the highest win rate deck if you are on a win streak, and you will only play that deck. If you break the win streak, you will start doing your solars and try to play with your prismatic, or only solar.
Yeah, solar and prismatic. If you want to
Okay.
take less time.
So then after you establish a win streak, you like after you do your solar and all of that, you try to establish a new win streak. For the next day, start with a win streak and also maximize your prime, and that's how you roll it in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice strategy, because you essentially set up to make it easier for yourself on the next day, and try to maximize the current day, which is the one that you broke the win streak. However, if you're already on the next day with a win streak, you will try to keep that win streak in order to maximize your prime. So essentially, the best strategy is having a win streak. Am I correct?
Yeah. Overclocking is the most rewarding.
Yeah, overclock key, the most rewarding key over the rest. So if you are on a win streak, that's how you need to do it over your solars and prismatic keys. Yeah, really nice strategy, Pepito. I mean, this is really good information for those who want to maximize their prime. So follow this advice, and I'm sure you will earn more prime daily and make your life easier when grinding the ladder. So, what is your favorite deck right now to play on the ladder?
CPUs. Everyone is playing CPUs, and actually sometimes we freeze and we coin flip and the win streak breaks.
Yeah. The infamous coin flip running rampant right now because of the CPU's bugs and all of that. Definitely, it can. It's a really annoying situation, but I mean, these things that are, I'm sure, are gonna be fixed in the game soon rather than later. So, why do you like CPUs right now? Because it's the best deck.
It's the best deck. I get the highest win rate and it's fast. So it's quick. Finish your daily wins faster.
Yeah. So essentially, your strategy is try to maximize. Like you're giving a really good advice here, which is preparing for the next day of earning prime, trying to do it as quickly as and efficient as possible, playing the highest win rate deck, and the quickest one in terms of the average game time that you get with these decks, which is a deck that is aggro, tempo aggro based, where you can finish the game quickly if you're lucky, and well, quickly and quicker if you're lucky. So yeah, very nice advice there in that regard. So what will be your recommendations to beginners on mistakes that they should avoid?
I think they should focus more on the mulligan phase. It's the most important for me.
Yeah. So how do you yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to explain because different matchup requires different mulligans. Yeah. Different approach.
Yeah. So talking about the mulligan, like how do you approach a mulligan generally? Like what are the general rules of the mulligan for you?
Let's for example in CP deck.
Yeah.
These days I always want to be turn 2 because you get 2 mulligans. You have higher chance to draw what the cards you want, like high density, 1-drops, like that.
Sounds good. Yeah, definitely the game is in a state where when you go second, you basically have 2 chances of getting the cards you want. And for Pepito, it seems that that's better since he can find, like, it's more important for him to find the cards that he needs than going first.
You can control your hand like that.
Yeah, that's really good. And just general like knowledge about mulligan, like what's like, for example, saying that you prefer going second is a general mulligan strategy for you, where it's like, okay, it applies to any deck that you're playing in the sense that you can find, like for you, it's better to go second because you can find the cards that you need in an easier way. So the odds will be in your favor going second. What else would you say it's some general mulligan knowledge that you can share?
You also want to like focus on your opponent's mulligan and like focus on how many cards did they mulligan to like predict if they have a good hand or a bad hand. And for example, they mulligan everything, you wanna be aggressive on your hand.
Okay, that's a really nice advice in the sense that if you like, so what you're essentially saying is that always pay attention to what your opponent is mulligan, because then if, for example, they mulligan their whole hand, you can be more aggressive, like try to play your most aggressive things because they didn't find what they need, for example. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
That's a really nice advice. Really nice advice in that regard. So, what is your general approach when having to face the meta? For example, you're like tweaking your deck. How do you approach that in terms of what you're facing? Like if you have to change cards from your deck, how do you do it?
We have like many texts now in a game, like what do you call that card in the three cost relic, which blocks the effect of the opponent.
The cyber deck console.
Yeah, cyber deck console. You wanna, when there are certain times you're playing against specific parallel, you tweak your deck and add cards. For example, against Earthen, you want to have more Poisoner. Against Shroud, you want to have Cyber deck and Lord Harf. Like that.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So it's essentially about changing one or two cards that are specific. Like, for example, you're facing too much of a certain parallel, so you change one or two cards that really counter that specific parallel. That's what.
You can also have them all in your hand to be prepared for anything.
So you're saying you can also include all these tech cards in your deck, so you can basically beat everything that you encounter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's also nice. So basically including tech cards against every parallel is your approach.
Yeah.
That's really nice to hear. So talk us a bit, like you recently managed to get into the knockout stages of the Parallel World Championship. You fell a bit short, but the fact that you did it, as this being your first competitive TCG in just a matter of less than a year, it's absolutely impressive. And the fact that you also been in the top of the ladder for many seasons in a row, it's also truly impressive. So how has been how was your approach to qualifying to the tournaments and to practice for the knockouts in this case?
I'm currently practicing with my teammates in AXU, and we scrim together and we wanna win tournaments together. Next season, I'm planning on reaching out to my fellow band members in order to scrim and practice to achieve greater achievements.
That's really nice. That's really nice to hear. We would encourage it a lot. I'm really happy that you're thinking in that way. Definitely, we had many players this season in our bond that qualified for these tournaments, that were also competing and won tournaments even. during the first season of the Parallel League. So seeing one of our bond members take the initiative to scream and practice with other bond members will be rewarded for sure. I'm really happy that that you're saying this. So just to wrap it up, Pepito, now what recommendations would you give to your fellow bond members, to those who are beginners and want to start their Web3 journey, for example, with Parallel, or any sort of thing that you want to add to this interview?
If you are new to Parallel, feel free to reach out to me in Paragons Discord, and to my fellow current players in the band. Let's meet, let's reach, and let's win season 2, and let's see you in season 2 in Parallel.
Season 2. Okay, nice. Yeah. So the last thing that I want to ask you, and it's regarding your psychology and your mental game. How do you manage to stay consistent with grinding so many games, and how do you deal with tilt and fatigue?
Actually, every time I lose, I stop for like 30 minutes. I take a 30-minute break and to refresh my memory and to avoid tilt. Because if you're on a lose streak and you play more, your decisions is worse, and more likely you have less win rate.
Okay, very nice to hear. Yeah, definitely your decision making gets affected when you're tilted. So what you do is that you, on the first lose, like you don't wait for 3 losses, you just, on the first one, you stop for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive. Like in the end, many people would say like, oh, okay, after the 30 minutes, I lose again. What would you do that in that situation? Like if you come back and lose, what would you do?
Actually, I always stop for 30 minutes.
So you would stop for 30 minutes again?
Even if I lose like 5 times in a row, that will take like 3 hours.
So you stop for 3 hours. Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, that's a lot of discipline and a lot of dedication to be able to take the decision to stop, because it's not easy to do it. It's not easy to actually stop after you lose. So the fact that you would come back, lose, stop for 30 minutes, come back, lose, stop for 30 minutes, it's a lot of dedication and a lot of mental power to do it. So yeah, Pepito, I mean, this was an amazing interview. Really thankful that you were here today and that you were happy to collaborate on this interview. So wish you the best on the rest of this season of the ladder, and wish you even better for season 2 of the Parallel League. So yeah, keep cooking, and thanks a lot, Pepito. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.